Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another little reaction review video for Eurovision 2026. Today it's time for Belgium, and of course I'm still a little bit sad over what happened last year when strobe lights did not qualify for the final. I think, if I've understood correctly, Belgium decided to scrap their national final. I don't know if it was because of last year or whatnot, but I still, to this day, and I will forever think that strobe lights should have been a comfortable qualifier in last year's lineup. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I'm not the one who picks the real-life results entirely, which is probably a good thing for many reasons, but for me personally, it's a little bit sad, of course. However, if Belgium scrapped their national final and went for something they picked on their own instead, what they ended up with this year is Dancing on the Ice by ESSYLA, perhaps. And yeah, let's take a listen to it and see what Belgium have cooked up for us this year. An intro that I like, I can tell you that much. That's a snappy little bass walk. Very distinct in the soundstage. You know, like this kick drum is very kind of soft and just... There's a lot of depth within this soundscape early on. The vocal becomes very prominent because of that. Absolutely! Distinct percussion as well. It's a very creatively arranged backdrop. I love the movement within everything here. The beat comes in quite nicely here, I'd say. Need to kick it up a gear now. Alright. Sure. Is this melody a little bit too much on like the minimalistic side? And then, you know, just kind of looping the same vocal line for the chorus. Huh. Structurally, I like what it's trying to do. Actual melodic execution there? Like, I love actually, like, it's very playful in what... You got this little... The bright hits and the percussion. The percussion is very dynamic. And I really like that aspect of it. Minimalistic beat as well in the backdrop. There's something that sounds very Belgium about it, you know? Are the choruses a little underwhelming? Maybe, actually. The bass walk is moving nicely though. It's brewing very deeply here. This chorus would have needed a greater like swing, a greater flow of energy within it to really hook me, but conceptually I really like what it's doing. But this melody is a little bit, dare I say, boring. Got some kind of variation within the melodic writing here in the backdrop for this middle eight. Long elongated notes. I can't imagine the lyrical side of things within this track to be very substantial. Nice with the kind of like filtered, vibrating sounds in there. Using the cutoff filter nicely. Alright, yes, absolutely. A little bit of vocal variation. I wanted to do more, but it's definitely quite promising. Production-wise, I think this is among the strongest songs so far, I gotta say. Yeah, that's fun, actually. I gotta say, I'm quite a fan of that one, to be honest. I think that is a very neatly put together track with a lot of main focus being on a strong production, which they're really selling within the song. Incredibly dynamic soundscape throughout the song because they use minimalism to its advantage very, very clearly. And the vocals become very expressive because of that as well. I think that ESSYLA does quite a nice job of being very varied within her vocal performance. There's a little bit of different contrasting tones in there, which is really nice. Definitely would have wished for more melodic exploration within this track because I feel like it's very limited. It kind of goes hand in hand, like a minimalistic track from the arrangement and instrumental goes hand in hand with a minimalistic song from the songwriting perspective as well, melodically, harmonically. And you know, when both things are a bit too minimalistic, it kind of becomes a bit meh, a little bit middle of the road because of that. However, the groove of the track is definitely there. I feel like there's a little bit of energy there. The pulse is a tangible one, and I'm connecting with the track and what it sets out to do. I honestly pretty much enjoy this quite a bit, actually. This is a fun listen for me. It's a catchy one. It's a snappy one. I can sense the foot tapping qualities within it. I think the bass work is really nicely varied throughout as well. There's some of this snappy bass walk that the song starts off with, but then you've also got the brewing synth basses that kind of uses transitional devices, which are really nice actually, because they can just keep descending, and it becomes a very brewing and prominent sound in the backdrop. Percussion-wise, I gotta say that's probably one of the standout parts as well. It feels like it's very playful in what it sets out to do because of just how distinct the different sound designs are really in this track. I feel like the mixing has been given a lot of time in this song to really create quite a fulfilling listen in terms of the soundscape. Even though melodically you can find it a bit disappointing or underwhelming, I feel like it does enough instrumentally to really warrant some kind of praise from me, because I think that it's creative in doing what it sets out to do. And you can definitely tell that the people who have mixed this track have done it with a proper purpose of actually making sure that the song feels fresh and interesting from only like the sound design perspective. Like you could just take on the headphones to this, listen, and really just enjoy the kind of creative flair within the actual inputs of how they've been collectively designed and collectively put together to create the unity of the track, I suppose. It's really nice how they do that. Kind of feel like there's like a little bit of an ambition with the live performance here as well, from what you can see in the music video. I like what I'm seeing. My main qualm really is like the instrumental hooks have a little bit of like a too simple, too by the books, too kind of rigidly rhythmic pattern within the choruses. Like melodically, that's a pretty stale hook in my opinion. I would have wished for a little bit of more of a swing to it, really, like create something a little bit more with variety in there, a little bit more challenging maybe, to really hammer home a proper hook instead of being simple and catchy. Make sure that it's catchy because of its kind of attention grabbing details within there. That's what I would have wished for a little bit more. But this is among my favorite songs I've heard so far from the lineup this year. I think this one is actually really cool. I like the style of music personally, and I think the production is admirable. And you know, kudos to Belgium for once again sending something that I'm quite a fan of. I mean, they're on a rough streak right now. They have 2 years in a row when they have not qualified for the final. Both years, their song have been one of my favorites. And I mean, I've only heard 6 songs so far. Well, 9 if you count the ones I have heard from before. But this is among my favorites for sure. And hopefully they won't miss out again, depending on the live performance, of course. But I'm a fan. I like this. I think this is pretty cool. I think I can see myself listening to this one a bit more in the future. But yeah, those are only my cents, or my 2 cents on it. Please let me know what you think of this song from Belgium this year. I would still consider it to be less impressive than what they had last year, but that's mostly because Strobe Lights was fantastic in my book. But let me know what you think of Dancing on the Ice here. Please write it in the comments if you want to. And hopefully I'll see you again in the next video, where I will be listening to the Bulgarian return, I suppose, to Eurovision. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested. Thank you for watching this video. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.